Okay, so I'm back. I have connected the sliding connection together. You can see this is piece 1 going into piece 2, and it gives it a nice connection there. You can also see that I have put the greatest angle here is actually the center piece. It goes right in the middle of the table here. And if you look closely, of course, you can see that the P3 hangs off the table. Now my lawnmower's in the way a little bit, but you can see it overhangs the edge by a little over a foot. You can also see, since the pieces are both together, let me get a little higher, you can see it's a very nice curvature, even though, again, every 6 inches is slightly different angle. Gives it this curved feel. But this way all the balls should feed back into the table. So I am going to get a ball and bounce it around. But before I do that, let me show you this is one of the first pieces of the triple P that I made. So this is another prototype piece. This one I just made one piece. You can see this slide connector there. The difference with this piece is every 6 inches the angle you see was one way, then the other way, one way, then the other way. But what happened with this one was when the pieces get closer to the edge of the table, if you hit from the left corner of the table across the net to the right corner of the table on that side, and it hits one of these outward angles, the ball would fly off the table. So I was trying to figure out how to reduce these angles, and I constantly redesigned this design over and over, trying to figure out what the best angles were to keep the ball on the table. And then one day it dawned on me, how about I don't have any angles to the outward side of the table? And that's where the new Triple P came. Also, if you notice, this piece is a lot smaller because originally there were 4 pieces to the design that hooked together. And you can see that the 2 center pieces connected with just these little pegs and holes, and then the slide connectors were on either end of those for the end pieces. It's also taller. I made the newer version 22 inches high because I wanted to make sure, especially in this first position that it's in, that the ball, when you're hitting it, the chances of you hitting it over the wall or the P3, but the wall-like surface would not be there. So that's why I did that, made it a little taller. And the extension over the table there, of course my lawnmower's in the way again, but that extension is a little bit longer. It used to only come out about 9 inches. So I made it a little bit wider so that when you get better and you're able to put the P3 toward the back of the table and you're getting the full bounce on both sides of the table, it hits the wall and we'll still be able to return it back on. So I just wanted to show you, because this piece I had finished. Of course it cost about $400 extra to have them finish it, smooth the surface out, and then paint it. So that's why it looks so nice, as opposed to this one that looks kind of like wood, even though it's not wood. But so I'm going to finish this one myself, so you'll see in a later video that I will finish it and make it look a lot nicer. Okay? And also, hopefully, I'll be able to get the brackets made and put the brackets on there too. So let me get some stuff and I'll bounce a ball off this and see what happens. Of course, I'll have to try to avoid hitting it to the left side of the table, which I'm right-handed, so that won't be as easy. But anyway, also the reason why it's back a little bit is because of the curve. So this side is close to the net. When the other piece, when I do have the other piece of course will stretch out and then be close to that end of the net. So there's going to be a gap here, which is good because at this close end of the table, you are going to start learning how to hit the ball and use some power, get some power and get some speed together while returning the ball. And then as you progress, you can move the triple P. Once it's on the brackets, you can slide it back about 2/3 of the way back, and then you'll start actually being able to bounce the ball on this side of the table, hit the wall, and then it'll come over. So you'll get the real feel of playing somebody else. Okay, I shall return.